So I grew up in a denomination that didn't believe in prophecy or tongues or healings or miracles. They believed that they happened in the New Testament, but that it was no longer relevant for the church today because we had the completed Bible, and that's all we needed to know who God was. So when I was growing up, I often heard words from the Lord, things that I couldn't have known otherwise, and they were always to portray the love of God to someone else. So God would tell me, this person is going through this thing, I want you to go and talk to them and tell them that I understand, that I see them, and that I love them. Is this true? Do you still speak to your church through words of prophecy? Like, are these other gifts still active? And so through the next few months, he started to show me in the Bible that yes, he does still speak through prophecy, and he showed me this gifting that he had given me and how I had been using it and how he was going to be growing it in me. So because now I believed in the gift of prophecy, I said, well, God, and do you still heal people? I mean, I know you heal through medicine and through modern science, but do you do miraculous healings? So I said to God, okay, so I'm willing to believe in healing. If you still heal, I'm willing to believe, but I'm waiting for you to show me. And I went to, my sister was rededicating her life to God and being baptized, and I had sprained my knee, and it was I was about to drive to this baptism, and it was a 4.5-hour drive, and I had just sprained my knee. So I put on my tensor bandage, drove, and when I got there, I took the tensor bandage off and put it on the seat beside me, and I went to celebrate with my sister at her baptism. Afterwards, we went back to my vehicle, and she decided to come with me. She hopped in, and I said, oh, sorry, my tensor bandage was on. I was taking it off the chair. I said, my knee's in a lot of pain, and I just had that for my knee. She said, well, let's go talk to Sally. She has the gift of healing. And I thought, okay, we'll give this a go. So she came over, prayed, and instantly my knee was totally better. I had no inflammation, no swelling, full range of motion, no pain. I was floored. But key thing is, as I was walking towards Sally, I said to God, I don't have faith for this. I'm going to borrow her faith. So if you heal, great. And if you don't, that's fine. But I'm borrowing her faith because I don't know if you still heal. So I was floored. My knee was completely healed. And my faith grew obviously huge. And so then I asked Sally, I said, would you pray for my jaw? See, I had enough faith, or I didn't have any faith. I was borrowing her faith, but I had enough faith, I guess, to have her pray for my knee, because it didn't really matter to me. Like, I knew the swelling would go down, I would be fine. But I have Tourette syndrome, and for most of you, if you know me, you wouldn't know that I have Tourette syndrome because you don't necessarily see my tics, and the reason is because of this healing. So I asked her if she would pray for my jaw, because there is a nerve bundle that goes through your jaw. At this point, my tics were so bad that they were constantly on my mind. I just wanted to crawl out of my skin. For those of you who don't know, Tourette's is a syndrome where your brain tells your body to do certain movements, certain noises, and if you don't do them, you just have this rising anxiety until you do them. So you have to do these movements. It's very annoying and very distracting. And So I really wanted to get this mouth device to stretch out my jaw so that I could have some relief from these tics. It was also very painful because you're constantly moving and using these muscles, and so you're just always sore. So I asked her to pray for my jaw. She said, sure. So she prayed, and she said, do you feel anything? And I was like, no, I don't feel anything. She's like, that's okay, I'll pray again. So she prayed again. She said, now do you feel anything? And I'm like, maybe, a little stretching maybe. I don't know if I just want to feel something and so I feel that, I don't know. She's like, that's okay, why don't you tell me what I'm praying for? So I explained to her about the Tourette's and the TMJ and the jaw and the prosthodontist. It's gonna cost me $6,000 to get this thing, and I was in this whole process and couldn't afford it. Anyway, so she's like, okay. So she prayed for me again. And this time she prayed more intelligently, knowing exactly what we were working with, or as much as she could know. And I felt this release in my jaw. And I was like, oh my goodness, I felt that. Like, look at this range of motion. I can open my mouth. That's so fantastic. Thank you so much. You're welcome. So she got in her car and she left. And it just completely changed the way that my mouth shape is. And so now most days I go through my whole day, I don't even think about Tourette's. But what's really remarkable about all of this is that it was a real testimony to my husband. He saw the transformation. He talked to our chiropractor after I went for my follow-up appointment, and they confirmed that my knee was better. He saw the pain I was in with my mouth and how my speech changed, and he said it just completely changed his outlook on what God could do in the here and now. And so it set in motion this healing in our hearts of understanding who God is here and now, how his kingdom comes to earth now. And if God, I mean, I don't know this, but it's set in, if God hadn't done that healing, that physical healing to me then, we wouldn't have moved here. It was the catalyst for the complete change in our lives. And my body will someday grow old and die, and I'll get a new body. But my spirit will live forever, and the healing that God has done in my spirit through this physical healing is unimaginable. I can't even imagine all that God has done through and through this. So I'm thankful.